Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
How's it going, everybody? Jason Marshall here. If it's your first time listening to the show, this is not a typical episode, so please go into the archives and listen to one of the 100 other shows that I've done. Hopefully, I'll see you back here next week. If you're a regular listener, this is going to be a very short show. Unfortunately, Mama Kate didn't make it this week, and that's why it's going to be a little short. I am going to talk about one of the things I wanted to talk about with her, which is what is going on with this show. Well, I'll tell you, before I get into that, if you are a regular listener, you will know there is a curse on this show, and anything I say on this show typically doesn't happen. So hopefully this will be the exception to that. But I am getting ready to move. Finally, I know. Stuff is everywhere. It's hard for me to have a guest over because it's hard to have a place to have them sit comfortably and do the show. The last guest I had was Mama Kate, and she was tucked away in some weird corner of the house, and it was kind of an awkward seating arrangement, and I don't want to do that to somebody who hasn't been on before. Also, my wife is out of state, so I'm a single parent this week, and it's kind of hard for me to find the time to put the podcast together. So for the month of May, we're going to be back to once a week, and in June, everything's going to be back to normal. I think you guys are going to enjoy it because in June, all your favorites are going to be back. Kenny Bolin's going to return, and one of the reasons he hasn't been on is our schedules have had a hard time syncing up. He's in the middle of moving too, plus his show moved to another network with a new co-host. He's trying to get used to that. But in June, Kenny will be back. That's going to be a good time. Mama Kate will be back on the show. Unfortunately, she won't be on this month because she's got a lot of stuff going on. That'll be a good time when she comes back. Also, speaking of Mama Kate, there'll be a martial law episode where it's Mama Kate versus Choo Choo Stew. That should be a lot of fun. Benny Mack will be back with this month's Dumbass of the Year. If I'm not mistaken, there will be 2 episodes of that with him going over the month of April and the month of May combined. And I think at the end of the month, we're going to be doing the month of June. So you'll have double the Benny Mac. That'll be a good time. We're also going to be having a stand-up show at the Diesel on June 10th. That'll be up on the feed, and hopefully we'll have better sound this time. Fingers crossed. Had a lot of technical issues, and again, I want to thank Keith from the Sea of Madness podcast for recording that, because if it wasn't for him, that entire show would have been lost. In July, we're going to have a lot of new guests on from all around the world. You guys are really going to enjoy that. And at the end of July will be the 2-year mark of the podcast. That will be a lot of fun. We're going to do a recap show, and in August, the podcast will start its 3rd year, bigger and better. You guys are going to love it. Thanks for sticking with me. And as always, you can send me an email, jason@wedon'thavecookies.com, or you can call 929-266-9342. Leave me a voicemail. If it's funny, I'll play it on the show. And if you don't want me to play it on the show, just say so in the voicemail. And have no fear. Just say so in the voicemail. I won't play it. Next Monday, I'll have a show up that I recorded with Mike Canistero where we go over some recent issues that he's had with former guest Father Time. That was a lot of fun to put together. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And thanks for sticking with the show. I really appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be back to normal soon. And until then, you guys have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
What is going on with this show?